Good, chilly, bright, and beautiful Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith from Gardenstateweather. Good morning. Sun is coming up here at the Glen Cove Cam in Massachusetts, and it's chilly this morning across the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic coast states as well. It's 39 degrees. And in the Virgin Islands this morning, it's looking beautiful out there, 79 degrees. Frenchman's Cove Cam in the Virgin Islands, also 79 degrees and a beautiful sky this morning. Michigan at St. Joseph's, 50 degrees this morning. New London Harbor Cam in Connecticut, sun rising here, beautiful, but chilly, 28 degrees. Lots of leaves on the ground now for the critter cams, and in Webster, New York, it's 39 degrees. Things are quiet on Mulberry Street in New York City. It's chilly and 37 this morning. Flamingo Cam doing their thing, 75 in Miami this morning. Patterson Falls, we never cover this one too much. It's chilly this morning and 28 degrees. And you can see there's not a lot of water flowing down the waterfall here. So that means usually this is gushing. That means that water is low. We can see all the rocks here. We are definitely in a water deficit here and an extreme drought warning in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. 28 degrees right now in Patterson Falls. Sun is shining over the harbor here in New York City. It's chilly and 37 degrees. Columbus Circle in New York City looking good. 37 degrees this morning. We don't like that ham cam. Fort Myers, Riverfront Cam in Fort Myers, Florida, 68 degrees. Watching for a storm coming their way later this week, early next week. Tampa Bay, 70 degrees this morning and looking beautiful out there. Hillsborough Lighthouse Cam in Hillsborough Beach, Florida, 77 degrees. It's gorgeous. And we did the Flamingo Cam and the Patterson Falls Cam. And in Dublin, Ireland this morning at the famous Temple Bar, it's actually noontime there now and it's raining. And it's 55 degrees outside the Temple Bar, and inside there's music and people once again gathering around at just afternoon time here. 55 degrees. Gorgeous. Everything's Christmas there. New Orleans, 70, and the streets are clean. You can see that. And the Cats Meow Cam, Roswell Cam in New Mexico, 37 this morning and very quiet. And of course in Kentucky, it's been raining all morning. It's 48 degrees this morning. Downtown Franklin Cam, you can see some smoke in the atmosphere here, and 39 degrees. And there is one cam in New York City that shows the smoke. Hold on. Having some software glitches this morning. Over the top of the rock in New York City here, it is 37 degrees, and you can see the smoke in the air above the buildings here. That's from that big fire in New Jersey and New York. Charlottesville Airport at the hangar, it's 36 degrees with a mixture of flat clouds this morning actually, looking good. Marco Island in Florida. This is live, 7:13 this morning. Crazy, right? That's beautiful. And the Island Bike Shop Cam here in Marco Island, Florida this morning. It's live, no temperature being reported, but no doubt it's in the 70s. Adirondacks Cam Lake View here in New York, it is chilly, gorgeous though, 14 degrees. And of course our favorite Saranac Lake, this morning 14 degrees and sun is shining, but you can see some smoke in the air. Trapp Family Lodge in Stowe, Vermont, beautiful this morning over the Cap Mountains here, 19 degrees. And Sedona is just waking up, it's 48 degrees. Western Wall Cam in Jerusalem, 75 degrees. That's a place I want to get to. No giraffes out yet, but it's 45. Empire State Building, here is the here's the smoke actually. At the top here, you can see it in the sky here as the sun is coming up over Midtown Manhattan, and 37 degrees. Straits of Gibraltar in Spain, 66, and look at this sky. It is gorgeous. Santa Monica is quiet this morning. It's not even 5 a.m. there yet. It's just after 4 and 52. And top of the rock once again, here's the smoke and 37 degrees under sunny skies. And back here in the Weather Center in West Orange, it's 31, feels like 28. The high today will be a little chillier, and clouds will be increasing during the day, but there will be no precipitation again today. Right now, the air quality is pretty good. It's 31, feels like 28. Wind is out of the northeast as high pressure is exiting the coast, and things are looking good. Um, Chilly today, getting back up with a warm front tomorrow, back up to 59, which is about normal for this time of the year. And the weekend looks good too. A smattering of clouds and sunshine, lower 60s, and really into next week. The only chance of rain might be late next Friday, and those are light rain showers. But outside of that, nothing. Right now, the temperature is 31 and it's steady. It will be climbing to about 45 or so this afternoon. It was a little warmer yesterday, even with the wind, than predicted. So these temperatures may be up a little bit more than what is forecasted right now. Partly sunny skies. There's some cloud in the sky right now, about 60%, and also that is cloud increasing from the southwest and probably some smoke too. No precipitation, air quality is good, but it's been suffering for a lot of people in northeastern New Jersey and the New York City area from that fire. The UVI index is low at 2. Dew point is bone dry. Look at this. It's going to be a lot to unravel this dew point here at 14 degrees to saturate the air. Relative humidity is bone dry at 44%. The wind is off the ocean now out of the northeast at about 3 to 14 miles an hour. Visibility is better than 10 miles. Air quality is getting better, and it's moderate today at 47, so that's much better than it has been over the last couple of weeks. Air pressure is high at 30.41 inches. The moon is now gorgeous outside. It is gorgeous. Just look at this last night. It's 90%, and the full moon is coming up tomorrow, November 15th. Sunrise this morning was at 6:43, and sunset tonight at 4:38. From the Rutgers Meteorology Program at Cooks College in New Brunswick, it is 36 degrees with a light northerly wind. Warm temperatures this hour are 49 at Harvey Cedars by the water, Seaside Heights, Seagirt, Point Pleasant, and Atlantic City Marina here, all in the 40s. It's chilly this morning at 20 in Walpack and 23 at Basking Ridge, 24 this hour in Sandyston, and 26 at Charlottesburg. Other air temperatures in the region, 28 at Mount Pocono, and basically in the 20s to low and mid 30s, except the coast. Those temperatures are basically running in the 40s. Minimum temperatures this morning, they were chilly. Under clear skies and very light winds, we got down to about 17 in Walpack, 23 here in Sandyston, 28 here in Vernon Township, just above freezing here in Parsippany, below freezing here in Chesterborough, and temperatures were quite warm right around Ocean and Monmouth County here, but they radiated quite nicely back into the upper 20s in southwestern New Jersey and the Pine Barrens. There's not a lot of wind out there, but we have a little bit of wind chill out there. Dew points are very dry right now. In fact, bone dry. Relative humidity is looking good. Let's take this down just a bit. Solar radiation is coming up. So this is good, but clouds are increasing, so that should diminish during the next couple of hours. Evaporational transport, nothing back into the air right now. We've had no precipitation once again in the last 24 hours, and none is expected today. Air pressure is high and exiting the coast slowly. The ground and soil is dry and warm. And nothing on the radar except scattered birds, geocolor. This is interesting because this is under clear skies. This is all smoke. This is all smoke and some high clouds also coming in from the southwest, but some of this is smoke. And on the GOES IR band, here comes the increasing cloud cover. All the cold air is now off of the coastal waters, as you can see on the satellite imagery, and the water vapor channel shows an increasing amount of upper level moisture across the region. Not much has changed this morning in the reporting of the cold and flu across the eastern United States. That's increasing. Cough is going rampant here. Strep not being reported. Fever is moderate. RSV about the same. And very little reports of COVID or flu at this time. All across the Northeast this morning, we have temperatures basically in the teens and low to mid 20s, all the way down through Connecticut, River Valley area here into Pennsylvania, especially northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey. But the good news is that we have recovered a little bit in the temperature department over the last 24 hours at the ground surface. So things are warming up now to our southwest, and it should bring warmer weather in our direction over the next 24 hours. Back to seasonable. And from the Climate Prediction Center's yesterday's forecast for the United States for 6 to 14-day temperatures and precipitation, going to be getting warmer here through Saturday, the 23rd here in the Northeast. But this is near seasonable, actually. This doesn't mean that it's going to be warm. It just means seasonable. 8 to 14 degree temperatures, again, near normal across most of the mid-Atlantic states, cooler than average here in the Gulf and across the southeast, Louisiana, down into Florida. So that's all going to change. 6 to 10-day precipitation, not a lot here. This could be tropically induced with Sarah or a tropical depression along the west coast and central coast near Orlando and down towards the Keys here in Florida over the next 6 to 10 days. And 8 to 14 days, again, bone dry here in the south and not a lot of rain in the northeast as well. We have small craft advisories now in effect until Saturday morning here along Ocean County all the way down to the Delaware Bay and points south. And the other thing here is the astronomical high tides and near parallel winds along the shorelines here that's going to pile up some coastal flood advisories here until noontime on Friday. So just be careful out there. Fire risk for New England will be mainly for elevated fire concerns here in Rhode Island again, dry ground, and we'll have to be watching this. Flood watches, these are coastal watches here, or flood watches here for the new moon, and coastal flooding here in the back bays here in northeastern New Jersey, and the coastline here and into Philadelphia and down through Delaware. This warm front and pre-rain here, showers and thunderstorms, is going to run into this dry ridge here and very dry air here. So it's going to transfer its energy south. So there's not going to be a lot of precipitation. In fact, most areas north of Philadelphia won't see anything. Very interesting look on the shortwave channel here over the New Jersey, New York City area. The cold cumulus clouds dropping out of the northeast on the lower levels here, with high pressure off the coast, and then above this, at the higher levels, warm air advection clouds building in from the southwest. And on the global scale here, we can see that upper level low now moving towards the Great Lakes, putting warm air advection clouds into the sky. Cold air cumulus clouds coming in from off the ocean underneath high pressure. And down here near Nicaragua and Honduras here is tropical, what could be potential tropical storm 19, later named Sarah, and its interaction with the coastlines here spell trouble with heavy rainfall. We'll get into that in a moment, and we don't know what's going to happen with this system and the interaction as it gets into the Gulf and then moves in this direction towards Florida. We'll get into that in a moment. Right now, nationally, we're not experiencing too many, if any, major power outages. And the other thing I wanted to look at was what's this? How about no flight delays here across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic coast states? That's a good way to start your Thursday. New storm system piling into the Pacific Northwest. High pressures off the East Coast, just on top of us now. And this area of low pressure across the Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee River Valley area lifting into New England. And that's where the rain stops. It stops in this area and then heads towards the Great Lakes. Intermountain snows and rains coming into the West Coast once again. And by tonight, this area of low pressure over the Ohio Valley and Kentucky here will be translating to a new low off the Carolina coast, and that's going to mean no precipitation for most of the area except for maybe Philadelphia and Delmarva, but even that is about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. basically nothing. Here comes the next snowstorm into the Pacific Northwest here on Friday morning, and then spreading into the upper Midwest, the Colorado Rockies on Friday night and Saturday morning. And basically, nothing else is really going on here. Another cold front moving up towards the Great Lakes, some rain in the desert southwest and portions of Texas, but it's just going to be another storm system coming into the Pacific Northwest once again, lifting up through the plains and into the Great Lakes area, pushing cold fronts through with no cold air behind them and blocking. And so whatever's going to happen with this potential tropical cyclone 19, which could be called Sarah, we don't know just yet. We'll look at the global models and that information. By next Thursday, we could find some light rain showers here in the northern mid-Atlantic, but again, this is not looking too promising either. And the latest on Atlantic Invest 99, potential tropical storm 19 here. European ensemble guidance is bringing this up the coast inland here across Nicaragua, Honduras, and then the basic track here is to get it back into the Gulf and across the northern reaches here, the northern central reaches of Florida, and then out over the Atlantic. The GFS ensemble model is much, much further south, so there's a lot of uncertainty here. And there is nothing going on in the Eastern Pacific or Central Pacific in terms of tropical activity. In the Atlantic here, we have this Tropical Depression 19 now that gets named. It's definitely going to be Sarah, S-A-R-A. And through early next week, heavy rainfall will cause life-threatening flash flooding across Central America, particularly Honduras, Belize, El Salvador, eastern Guatemala, and western Nicaragua. It's forecast to be near hurricane strength as it moves near the eastern coast of Honduras tomorrow and Saturday. Hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings in effect for portions of that area. It's going to approach Belize and the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico at or near hurricane strength by early next week. There is a risk of dangerous storm surge, damaging winds. Residents in these areas should monitor the latest forecast updates and have their hurricane plan in place. And again, it's too soon to figure out where this is going to go in the Gulf of Mexico, and that would mean the impacts to Florida, the Florida Keys, and Cuba during the middle portion of next week. But residents in these areas should regularly monitor the updates to this forecast. Rainfall potential over northern Honduras here in Nicaragua, locally 20 inches of rain on the north side here over the next couple of days. So we're going to be monitoring that. And the warning cone right now, it is a storm. And again, we don't know. This is a large hatched area here, but once it gets past this area into the Gulf of Mexico, that's when we have to be concerned for the United States of America. Right now, the maximum winds are about 35 miles an hour. It's moving to the west at about 15 miles per hour. Looking at Asbury Park this morning, little haze in the atmosphere. This is probably smoke as well. A few people getting onto the breakers here. And the boardwalk's nice and quiet. Waves are a little bit choppy as we head towards full moon tomorrow and sunshine over the skylines. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe to our Garden State Weather Premium Forecast discussions here on YouTube and our socials on Twitter or X called Garden State WEA. If you want it to be added to our WhatsApp page for constant updates, you just look us up on WhatsApp at Garden State Weather, give us a shout out, and we will let you join in on the conversation. Everybody have a beautiful day out there. What's the matter with this thing? Shut. So once again, for our socials, it is on X and Twitter at Garden State WEA. Okay? And if you want it to be added to our WhatsApp page, it's Garden State Weather. You can look us up there and we'll add you to that. Otherwise, you can subscribe to our channel right here on YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You have a beautiful Thursday, everybody. Be safe out there.